Hey, what's up guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I am back once again with another horror collection video. Recently, I did my top 5 M. Night Shyamalan films. And I went through my collection and picked out every single M. Night Shyamalan film that I own, and I pretty much own almost all of his films. The one that came before The Sixth Sense I do not own. But when it comes to all his popular ones and then the shitty ones, I do own. So I have them on Blu-ray and DVD. So for this horror collection video, I'm going to show you guys my M. Night Shyamalan collection and go over the movies a little bit. And, you know, some people don't even like that name. They don't even want to utter the name M. Night because they hate him as a director. I think he's in a category all by himself. He is the twist ending guy, even though some of his twist endings don't really hit all the time. Most of the time they do. But, like I said, he's in a category all by himself. He's very unique, and he's got his own style. So, I can appreciate that. Anyway, let's go over them. The first one here is the Collector's Edition series of The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. I See Dead People. And this is the movie that everyone was talking about. The ending, the ending, the ending. Oh my God, Bruce Willis is a ghost? Oh my God, I didn't even pick up on that. Oh my God, all the subtle hints and everything they were giving us. Oh my God, that was a great ending, a twist ending. Then you watch it again and it's all ruined. This is one of those films that you watch it one time and it affects you that way. But you watch it again, it has no effect at all. So you can say that this is one of the best twist endings, but it doesn't work watching it again. So it's just one of those things that just ruins it. But great cinematography, great characters, great dialogue. The ghosts. Come on, I'll show you my dad keeps his gun. Come on. Bring. No, dinner is not ready. You can't hurt me anymore. Anyway, fantastic acting and just a really, really good film. This movie has gone down the list for me, though, since I first saw it. I used to really, really love this movie. It was like one of the best, but it's gone down for me. I remember when I first saw this movie at the theater, it was very late when we got out, me and my cousin, Dan, and we were driving home, we got pulled over by the cops. It's like, why are you out so late? You know, it's like, oh, we just got back from seeing a movie, Sixth Sense. But anyway, The Sixth Sense, pretty much everyone's favorite, or most people. Next up, this is my favorite, and it is Unbreakable, with the same kind of style shooting. Cinematography, great acting, great dialogue, great characters. You got Bruce Willis returning, and Samuel Jackson this time. About superheroes, a realistic take on superheroes. And, you know, if there were superheroes in the world today, how would they react towards people? Like, would they know that they're superheroes? Would they know that, you know, maybe they have super strength, or like maybe they don't get sick, or maybe they, you know, their bones are brittle so they break easy. Like there's just the way they go about this is just awesome, and it's got one of the best soundtracks ever in a movie. So very, very well done. I applaud M. Night for this. Next up is definitely one of my favorites as well, and that is Signs. Here we have Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix together. Now, here's the thing. This movie is not really about the aliens, but the crop circles. And the crop circles are just another, you know, way into the alien lore. But I love the whole crop circle thing because I've always been curious about, you know, crop circles. I've seen them too. Like when you're flying, you know, I live in Illinois, but when you take a plane out to the plains or whatever, and where there's corn and stuff, like you can actually see some places with that, and it's just very interesting to me. And Mel Gibson and Joaquin together are just great. I'm insane with anger. I'm gonna beat your ass, bitch. I'm losing my mind. I saw in an interview with Mary Mauser, who plays Sam on Cobra Kai. She said that she doubled, or she did a promotional shot for Signs, and I think that's her right there. She said she did a double, even though it don't look like Mary Mauser at that age, maybe because of the hair color. But she said she did, so that's kind of interesting. Anyway, Signs is great. Great, the same kind of style shooting, creepy music. I like the fact that they don't show the alien all the time. When they do, it's very quick, except for the very end. But yeah, Signs. Next up on DVD here is The Village. And The Village was very disappointing to me. I loved the movie all the way up until the twist. And like I said, M. Night is kind of hit and miss, where the twist does not hit all the time. And when it does, it better be good, because I think this twist to this movie was really stupid. It was really stupid. These creatures that are out in the woods, they have this village set up, and it's back in the old days, old times, where they, these creatures come into the village, leave their mark, and they find out that the creatures are not creatures at all. They're just people trying to dressing up as creatures to try to keep the people in the village, keep them in line, basically following the rules. And to come to find out, it's not the olden days. It's actually modern day, and they're in an animal reserve. They're in the middle of this animal reserve. Built a village there, and outside the animal reserve, the people who run and take care of the animal reserve, they didn't even know that there's a village there. Now to me, I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't they know? Like, you're telling me they didn't notice these people living in there's a village, they built houses and stuff in the middle of this reserve? Like, you're telling me they never saw that? That's a dumb twist. I'm sorry. Joaquin Phoenix was really good in this, and the cast is pretty good, but it just failed. Adrian Brody going to... Next up is a movie that I just couldn't get into. I appreciate the uniqueness and, taking a risk on a different kind of tone. Lady in the Water with Bryce Dallas Howard, who was also in The Village. It seems like M. Night likes to use the same actors or actresses in like 2 movies, like after each other. Paul Giamatti, look, like, it's basically a fairy tale or like a bedtime story come to life. And it is kind of interesting in some ways, but then it just gets ridiculous. I just couldn't bring myself to be invested in the characters at all. It was kind of just boring, and some of the things I didn't understand what was going on. Even though you do pick up on the story a little bit, it just I don't know. Not for me. Now here we have Mark Wahlberg in The Happening. No, sir, I'm a teacher. No, I'm a teacher. The Happening, the problem with this movie is that they made it to be out as a serious film, and it's just a laughingstock. Cheese and crackers. That's the thing about it. It didn't know what it wanted to be. I mean, you have these really creative deaths in this, but it's just so laughable. It is so laughable. And it's about basically these plants that get revenge on humans. So they get there's this toxin blown in the wind, and you gotta stay in small groups, and you freeze, and then all of a sudden you start to walk backwards and then kill yourself. That's basically what this is about. it's very strange and kind of stupid. But I think this is actually a guilty pleasure for me. It is so funny. This movie is funny. I laugh all the time at this when those people are just jumping off the buildings and that guy's reaction, he's like, oh my God. You think you can come in and steal my things? Get out! Get out! Then she shoves her head through the glass window. She's like, then she goes through the other window. She's like, it's stupid, but God, is it funny. The Happening. Oh. The next one here is The Last Airbender, based on the Avatar Nickelodeon series, I guess, which I never watched and I don't know anything about. This movie was just, it's basically about, you know, like magic and it's action-packed and stuff like that. I don't know. It's pretty bad, but being that I don't know anything about what it's based on, I guess didn't affect me as much as, say, the other people that maybe knew about that series. But it is bad. I will agree with people on that. Here we have After Earth. Jaden Smith and Will Smith, father and son acting together in this one. Here's the thing, like, Will Smith is a good actor. Jaden Smith, all he does in this movie is yell. He raises his voice. He yells when he doesn't need to. Yes, sir! And then, you know, Will Smith is hurt on the ship and Jaden has to go out and he's exploring and he runs into trouble. The effects in this were just, I don't know, they just weren't really top-notch for me. I think they could have done better. But like I said, Will Smith did a great job, and he didn't really do that much. I didn't really care for the story that much either. But it was different, you know. It seems like I said, M. Night is trying, he always changes things up with the tone or the genre of his movies, it just seems like. This has more of like a sci-fi-ish tone to it, much like, you know, you could say that with this movie, but it's kind of like magic and kind of like a family film in a way. And then you have this movie, which is like a horror comedy, you know, and then Lady in the Water is a fairy tale. It's just like he tries to change up the tone and the genre, but yeah, this one, I wouldn't say this one is terrible, but I did like it more than The Last Airbender. Now, here we have a movie that I feel that M. Night redeemed himself. I feel like he went down a slippery slope and then he went back up. This is the movie that I think really redeemed himself, and that is The Visit. And a lot of people didn't like it, and I still cannot understand why they didn't. The twist in this movie worked. It was really, really good, and I was not expecting that at all. There was no there were subtle hints on how the twist came about, but I still really didn't pick up on it to be like, oh, well, this must be, you know, those people must not be related or something. The woman who played the grandma was excellent. She was so intimidating. I didn't even want to look at her. Like, she was so crazy. Like, she would run around the house naked and start scratching the walls and shit. Like, I'm just like, man, this woman is terrifying. If I was in that house and I heard that all night, God, if people sleepwalk, I'm terrified. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was the kid who thought he could rap. I'm just like, that kind of felt out of place to me. But other than that, this was a great movie. I really enjoyed this one. So we have Split. Split is amazing. James McAvoy was great doing all these different personalities, and this is how you do a twist, an ending twist to a movie. This is the perfect example. Nobody even knew that this was tied into Unbreakable, or even part of the Unbreakable universe. Nobody knew it. even when the movie ends, you think it's over, then all of a sudden you see David Dunn, you see from Unbreakable. And the music starts to play. And actually it starts to play before you see him. But, oh my God. Crazy stuff. Like, it is... That's like the icing on the cake, because you have James McAvoy plays all these personalities. He kidnaps these women, and these women, you know, are struggling to stay alive while he like goes through his personalities and stuff. And God, he's so good in this, and it just is a fantastic movie. Really, really good. God. The last one I have here, of course, is Glass. And Glass, I was really looking forward to this, because this is basically the conclusion of the Unbreakable trilogy, is so to say, because you have Unbreakable split, and this ends it right here. But you have James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and Samuel Jackson all in one movie, so you can combine Unbreakable and Split together, and you get this. But this was very disappointing. I think James McAvoy once again stole the show here. They didn't do enough with